Hey Taurus, how's it going everybody? Welcome to Blue Mountains Tarot. This is going to be a general reading for you guys. This is for the first half of August, 1st to the 15th. Please keep in mind these are general readings. Please only take the messages that resonate, leave the rest behind. If you are interested in a personal reading, I do offer them. You can reach me below in the description box to set that up. Let's take a look here. Taurus, messages for the sign of Taurus. Collective messages. First half of August. Let's see. I'm hearing a blast from the past. Seems like you're gonna return. There's like a return to an old version, an old part of your life, an old part of yourself, but in a very positive way. It's almost like you regain a sense of vitality. You've got Three of Cups, the Six of Cups, the Fool card. So there's something here, Taurus, that I feel you're going into a path where you're going to be celebrating some very good things, some new beginnings to celebrate. Maybe new friendships, maybe bumping into somebody or having that feeling of a blast to the past. One sec, guys. I have to reduce the light exposure here. It's a little too strong. There we go. Okay. Tell me about this Fool card. Queen of Swords. And what's this Six of Cups? It's like you really know now. Five of Cups, okay? So I feel like you're fully releasing an aspect or a part of your life, a part of yourself where maybe you held on to regret, grief, things that kept you in the past or kept you in a bit of a lower vibration. And I feel like you've made up your mind. You've got the Queen of Swords here. I think you're sort of learning your lessons, or you've learned a big lesson. You've realized something about maybe the way you were living, the way you were doing things, maybe the people you were surrounding yourself with. There's like this piece that's sort of saying, like, it almost feels like a shell around your body, and your shell like cracks open, falls off, and a new version of you comes out, almost like the hatching of an egg. I'm going to do the bird oracle because that would be pretty cool if you had the egg. So I think that you're finally letting go of any leftover, any last memories or regrets, things that made you feel even shame. Some of you, if you've been carrying around some shame on something, anything of a lower vibration, I feel that you've made up your decision, you've made up your mind, and you're saying, well, did I learn my lessons? Yes. Do we make mistakes? Yes. And am I moving in the direction of willing and knowing that there's more lessons to learn? Am I going to make mistakes? Yes. We always learn, we live, we learn, we make mistakes. You keep moving forward. So there's this understanding of more understanding of who you are and where you came from, what your past was. There's an ability here to kind of understand, wrap your head around situations, or look back and say like, oh, I know why I really did that. Versus maybe some people say, I don't know why. They're unconscious of why they're doing things or why things took place. This is a big learning path for you moving forward, Taurus. The Death. There you go. There's your transformation. There's the shell, death and rebirth. A huge change is coming for you here, Taurus. You're experiencing the release of old memories, all that stuff I just discussed. So this is a transformational time for you. The Fool, the Death. There you go. Let's see. What else? Tell us about this. What else? What can Taurus be looking forward to? What is going to help them in this new version? I feel like it's a new version. I just went to a yoga class the other night and the teacher was like, that 2.0 version of yourself, renewed. Knight of Cups. you're going to attract the right kind of people. There's different energies that are going, you're going to feel, or you're going to have more of an attractive energy because you've let go of this old self. You're not giving off an energy or even a subconscious energy of grief or shame or guilt or any of that. So I feel like this is something that gives you a lot more passion, a lot more things to be excited for in life. It's not regretting or hanging on to the old. You can look forward to new people coming towards you, new opportunities. For some of you, I want to ask about business because I am picking up entrepreneurial energy here with the King of Wands. Anything around that? New endeavors. The Devil. Anything, I'm going to get to the Devil in a second. Anything around new opportunities. Some of you could have lost. Okay, so let me just see here. 7 of Cups. Some of you may have gone through a bit of a disruption or a loss of the past. When I asked about, I'm getting entrepreneurs or new businesses, new offerings coming in with this King of Wands. But we had the Devil, and now we have the 7 of Cups. So some of you may have experienced, or you went through a bit of a delusional place in your life with that 7 of Cups. You could be falsely, why am I getting this? It's like you're falsely hanging on to one sec. Not falsely hanging on. There's something that's attached. Clarify this Devil. The Sun in reverse. There's the Emperor. Okay. Interesting. There's the Emperor. There's the entrepreneur. There's the boss. There's the big man with the sun. Leadership, ownership, entrepreneurship, business ideas, new ventures. This is what may make you happy. This would make sense being a Taurus, okay? You guys like success. You like to work hard. You like the finer things in life. You like to make money. You like stability. That's all of this energy. But some of you may have had previous mishaps, previous failures, previous reasons why, and maybe that's what could be tied to some of the past regret, blame, shame, guilt, whatever, because the Devil energy steered you in a way, whether you did this consciously or unconsciously or just the way life unfolded for you, you could have gone down a path that led you to very poor choices with the 7 of Cups and the Devil. So you may have been led through temptation. It's like choosing things when it came to opportunities. It's almost like somebody who is choosing things over, like with their ego, wanting to look good, wanting to look like a big successful person, wanting to drive the fancy car, wanting to look like an emperor. But it could have kind of bit you in the ass in a sense. It could have been poor choices where you were choosing things that you thought were making you happy at the time. You thought this was, you know, success and happiness and growth and all of that. And for some of you specifically, the Devil with the 7 of Cups and that King of Swords or King of Wands, you know, you kind of got a little ahead of yourself. And you may have gotten a little overly ambitious or courageous, and in some way, shape, or form, could have been addicted to the idea of working and being successful, and you got really, really caught up in some kind of mode that you're now seeing this when you reflect back. But I still think that there's a part of you that has this desire to be your own boss, say, to develop something, to grow something, but you're going to do it from a place of joy. You're going to do this from a place more of heart space, where you want to create from a place of joy, from love, from really wanting to provide a service or a product to help those, versus doing it to impress other people, doing it to make yourself feel and look like a certain way, and then that caught up with you in some way, shape, or form. So there's a thing here around what you're looking forward to, the path that you're on, Taurus, I need water, what's that? Is a different way of choosing or making choices. You're going to be much more smarter with your decisions with that Queen of Swords. You're going to think things through. You're going to think, is this coming because it's truly my happiness? It's the true things that bring me joy and they help to light up those around me? Or am I think you've learned your lesson. Let me just summarize it with that. I think you've learned your lesson here. You have plenty of choices, regardless. You have plenty of new decisions, new options, opportunities for you that lie ahead. The Fool card. This Death card is a big transformation, which we know. So let me see if I can expand on that. Anything around the transformation, the endings, the new beginnings. This is Scorpio energy. Anything around Death card for Taurus. Queen of Wands. See, there's that King of Wands, Queen of Wands. This could be a bit of a mirroring type of energy. Purpose-driven is what I'm getting. Queen of Wands. What about this? The Two of Wands. Yeah, it's just kind of repeating a bit of a mirror image. Could be part of the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine. Okay. So there's a purpose-driven here. There is still maybe you're deciding on how busy you want to be. How much do you want to take on? Maybe you're simplifying, maybe you're scaling down, and instead of having 5 things on the go, you want to bring it down to 1 or 2. So there is a thing here about what kind of path you want to live, and I feel like it's coming from a very purpose-driven place. What is your true purpose in life? What is your true happiness in life? Yes, you can still achieve, you can still be your own boss, you can still have a business, but it comes from a different, it's like a different fire. It comes from a different place. You may, again, you came from a certain, there's a bit of ego in there. There's a bit of wanting to kind of show off or impress. And I think that you're done with that. I think you're done with trying to prove yourself, trying to be noticed, trying to impress the Joneses, keep up with the Joneses. This isn't about that for you any longer. It's about purpose-driven life, and you can have it all still. You can still be very successful and have it all, but you do it in a much more humbling way or a much more quiet way. Okay, so I like that. Queen of Wands, Two of Wands. Still living in your like, you know, your dream. They're still keeping maybe a part of you, a core of you that is ambitious and is confident, and like you still want to accomplish things, but it comes from a different place. And I feel like it's just more heart-centered. It's coming from a more passion-driven, that sun energy, new life, a new way of sort of shining your light. Instead of being in the spotlight, you are the spotlight, shining it out to others, that kind of thing. Instead of focusing inward, focusing on look at me, it's about look at what I can offer and help or give light or shed light or goodness onto others. It's that Leo energy, right? The Sun card, Leo's, there's that, and the Emperor, Aries, Leo, the need to be noticed, the need to be recognized, you know, roll out the red carpet type of energy. This no longer is your ambition or goal. Doesn't mean you can't be successful though, or do all these things. What else? Closing off the reading for Taurus. What else do we need here for them? 7 of Wands. Yeah, you're preventing conflict in your life here, Taurus. You are saying no to any kind of conflicting situations, people, anything that is like, that's too heavy for me, that's too much for me, I don't like that energy. You know, you might have these old, let's say these old ideas, concepts, people come around, you're like, no longer doing that, not fighting that battle again, been there, done that kind of energy. So I think here there's an energy that you're warding off negativity, you're warding off things that are just going to bring you more chaos or conflict. I think you're really coming with that Fool energy of very not empty-handed, wrong. You're coming from a place of like living lightly and going in with very little, just enjoying a new path, light packer, nothing too heavy here. Is there any other healing or conclusion to this? Any other healing or conclusion? What's this around? The King of, there you guys are right there. Stability, sticking to yourself, not getting too caught up in any kind of chaos, conflict, competition. You're not into that anymore. There's a protecting your security, protecting your finances for sure. 7 of Wands, 5 of Swords with the King of Pentacles. So some of you are really, if you had financial difficulty, if that was one of the things you've been challenged with, again, making some poor choices with the Emperor, the Devil, the 7 of Cups, that could have affected your finances. And I think you're now saying, I work hard for my money. I'm going to fight hard to save it, to preserve it, to protect my stability. So you're in a bit of a new path of self-preservation, but also a new path of being able to still have confidence and accomplishments and ambitions because you're shedding this old shell of yourself that is an old past that was hanging on to you. There's something here that was not letting you fully celebrate or enjoy because you may have had, it could be a little bit of self-worthiness for some of you. I don't think it's too much of that, but there could be like, maybe I don't feel worthy of enjoying myself in this environment or celebrating this in life because of the things that I feel guilty or discouraged or upset or regretful about. So when you end that, when you release all of that with that Death card, you finally let go of an old version of yourself, an old past, and you kind of shed. It's like a new skin. And when an animal sheds, it grows. It's like a lizard or a snake. It sheds its skin, but each time it sheds, it's growing as an individual. You're growing. It's like bigger, stronger, and better, but you don't necessarily want to be recognized in that size, that growth stage. You're keeping it within yourself for your own stability. You're enjoying that. There's a lot of homebody energy with the King of Pentacles as well. Whoops. There's the High Priest at the bottom of the deck, okay? Very much. Successful, doing well, learning lessons, but keeping it to themselves. Not revealing everything to everyone, but also a great teacher, somebody who's learned a lot of lessons in life, and somebody who comes across with a lot of wisdom and insight and knowledge and learning to share to others. That Sun, when I was saying that you are going to be putting something out that's a heartfelt energy to help and share for other people. It's sort of like, oh, I know that. And you might also come from a place where you don't want to get involved in other people's battles. You might say, let's say you lost everything. Let's say you lost a business, you lost a home, you lost your money. And you see somebody else going down that path, not saying you're going to watch them crash into a brick wall, but you're sort of like, if you see that old version of yourself or that old egoic or needing to keep up with everything, you might be like, oh yeah, I've seen that and I know where that leads and I'm not getting involved. It's sort of like, let them learn their lesson in a way. You can step away maybe where you would like to always step in and try to solve the problem or be the solution or try to help people, this whole thing of you having the know-how to prevent damage from happening kind of thing. There's a sense here of stepping back, protecting your energy, preserving your time, live and let live, let somebody, do their life. But I think inside, it's like, you still want to be happy for people. So you don't want to intervene and get in their way of being like, don't do that, it doesn't work, this and that and the other. It's like you don't want to interject somebody else's vision or dream in a way, but you also know the reality behind it maybe, or you have some kind of experience in that because you've gone through it yourself. Okay. It's kind of like, as long as I learn my lessons, I'm good. As long as I keep my peace and I don't get too involved in chaos or other people's drama or other people's struggles, I'm good. I'm solid. I'm going to stay home, keep it quiet. Just going to mention one last little thing here. You will attract new emotions, Taurus. You will attract, I think you're also going to get a little more emotionally excited about putting yourself out there, making, that's where you're going to shine in a way. That's where you're going to show, is like introducing yourself, saying hi, being friendly, or expressing emotions on a interchangeable way where you might welcome or invite attraction into your life and vice versa. So there's a sense of that there, because you're not losing all of the vivacious energy and the liveliness inside of you. You're losing an aspect that is holding you back from living from that place. Okay. Let's see the Oracle of the Birds. If you get the egg, let's see. This happens, This happens. I call it out. What's the message for Taurus? What is the message for Taurus? Oh, wow. Sparrow. Okay, I think the word vivacious, I think there's something in this card about that. This has a few. Let's take a look. Sparrow is conviviality. Create space for the new, what you're doing. A significant new development lies ahead. Okay, makes sense. Sparrow. Exchange and communication with like-minded people are important now. Keep it balanced between sharing knowledge and chit-chat. Sparrow admonishes you, don't talk things down. Seek conviviality, then the joy of life spreads. Sparrow carries a great driving force and freedom. Freedom from concepts, evaluations, and opinions. This bird goes with you through the dark night of the soul to create something new with you in all clarity and light. Sparrow helps you to free yourself from old burdens. Soon you will feel a deep joy about newly discovered abilities with which you open new doors for yourself. Carry the joyful messages of your transformation into the world. Man, oh man, Taurus, there's more here, but you've got all those words: transformation, burdens. Interesting. Exchanging and communication with like-minded people, which is what I was saying. You're going to invite new energies, and like-mindedness is the thing. You're no longer this old version of yourself. With my ash gray and earthy brown plumage, I turn up nimbly and somewhat unspectacularly. Cheerful in a sociable group, I make contact and chirp my message to you. Particularly striking are my dark throat feathers. These stand for precise communication, which is Queen of Swords. The sparrow is a companion of the Dagar, the Germanic god of day. Knowledge flows through you from the spiritual realm. Exchange and contact with like-minded people. Do not be garrulous. A driving force kisses you. The sparrow whispers the right words to you. And your affirmation, Taurus: I am ready to walk through the dark night of my soul and make room for the new. My new way of communication is changing my energy field and brings me freedom. I am excited for you guys. This little sparrow bird has all of that magic and energy within it for you. And that is the thing, is that you are the hype. This is freedom. Look at, she's releasing herself with the wisdom, the knowledge, the knowing that I've learned so many lessons. I know what I've experienced, and I am freeing myself. As I said, you're being very protective of getting involved. You're freeing yourself from burdens, conflicts, getting involved in other people's business, things like that. You take care of you. You stand solid in your own ground, and that's good for you right now. Okay, Taurus, I hope this message helps you. Thank you so much for all of your likes, shares, comments, and subscribe. I appreciate the support. Have a great day. I'll see you soon. Take care.